Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to build a gaming slash editing PC. This build is intended for a creator slash gamer who want to properly enter PCMR with a PC that can play games and edit videos and photos for him as well. So let's go through the parts quickly. For the processor, we are using Ryzen 3 3200G. It's a 4-core 4-threaded CPU with base clock of 3.6 GHz and boost of 4 GHz. Mainly, it has Vega 8 integrated graphics. It's more than sufficient to play all the AAA games in 720p high and 1080p low settings when paired with proper memory. Since it has Vega 8 graphics from Radeon, it also supports FreeSync. For motherboard, we are using Gigabyte's A320 S2H motherboard. It's a good entry-level motherboard which fulfills all our basic requirements. It has HDMI port and NVMe M.2 slot. For the RAM, we are using a single 8GB stick, 3000 MHz CL16 RAM from Corsair. For an APU system, the speed of RAM and cache latency are very much important because the integrated Vega 8 graphics is usually memory starved. For the boot drive, we are going to use Crucial BX500 240GB SSD. We are going to install Windows 10 OS on it and all the necessary software that we need. Even though we are on a budget, we should not compromise on solid state device storage, and this yields in snappier Windows experience, and we should not install operating system on the hard disk. For some mass storage, we are going to install Seagate Barracuda 1TB 7200 RPM hard disk. This is an excellent drive which comes with 2 years of warranty. For our mass data storage, we can use this 1TB hard disk. For the power supply, we are going to use Antex VP450P 450 watt 80 plus white certified power supply. This is an excellent power supply for the budget of around 3K. At this budget, it offers 80 plus white certification with black sleeved cables, which immensely helps in cable management. And it also comes with 3 years of warranty, so it will be good for this budget build. For the cabinet, we are going to use GameDia's Athena E1, a full ATX compact cabinet. This cabinet has tempered glass with power supply shroud, and it also has an included ARGB fan that is 120mm and an included non-RGB 120mm fan. When it comes to the I/O, it has one USB 3.0 and two USB 2.0 with a front 3.5mm jack for both mic and speaker. So I have explained all the parts, so let's start the build. I usually prefer preparing the cabinet first with unboxing processor and setting up the cabinet with all the cables. For that, we should remove the tempered glass and the back panel of this cabinet and properly inserting the power supply with all the necessary cables inside. Do install all the necessary fans that you add extra. I am adding 120mm blue LED fan extra. I'll fix that thing, and then let's go to the motherboard. When it comes to the motherboard part, just unbox the motherboard and take out all the necessary parts like SATA connectors and I/O shields. Place the motherboard on the motherboard box and unbox your processor. When you unbox the processor, you will see the processor itself with the included Breath Stealth cooler. Please do not to install the included Breath Stealth cooler. You have to remove the included clips that are installed near the motherboard socket. To install the processor, just lift the retention arm and insert the processor slowly inside the socket. We should not apply any force in this step. After installing the processor, get back the retention arm and put the included Breath Stealth cooler. To install the cooler, we have to screw the cooler diagonally in all sides. After installing the processor and the thermal cooler, just install the RAM on the prime slot of your motherboard and your motherboard part is done. After setting up the motherboard, just insert the I/O shield and put your motherboard inside the cabinet and install all the necessary screws. After installing the screws, wire up the motherboard, install the 24-pin ATX motherboard connector and 12-volt EPS connector and all the front panel connectors like power, reset and LED. If you are planning to use 4-pin CPU fan header, then install that fan also, or else you can directly power that fan using Molex. When motherboard part is done and all cables are wired up, it comes for cable management. When it comes to cable management, use zip ties and scissors for managing cables properly. Route all the cables properly into the holes and make sure all the connectors are connected, like the connectors for hard disk, SATA connectors and the front panel connectors. Recheck the connectors and close the panel. Before closing the panel, make sure your cables are managed properly and should not create any bulge in the backside of your motherboard. If so, please reconnect the cables and reroute the cables so that the back panel closes. After that, you are ready to rock with your new PC.